Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video we'll be looking at the short forms and places where we'll have to rearrange the points in chapter number 6. So there are a total of 11 short forms and 7 places where we'll have to renumber the points in a logical order, and we'll first look at the points related to the short forms and then we'll have a look at the places where we'll have to renumber the points. So first let's get started with the short forms. The first point with regards to short forms is in page 6.3, and that is with regards to why do we have to do the information system audit, the reason for doing the IS audit. The short form is DDM CABEP, that is DDM CABEP. D stands for data loss, DM is cost of incorrect decision making, and CA stands for computer abuse, V stands for the value of hardware, software and personnel, that is the resources, E stands for the cost of computer error, and P is with regards to the privacy of the data or the users. So that is DDM CABEP. And the next point is in the below paragraph, and this is with regards to the objectives of the information system audit. The external auditor, that is the statutory auditor, he would be having the objectives of safeguarding of assets and data integrity. So there is SA and DI, and EE is for system effectiveness and system efficiency. These two are the objectives of the management of the organization. The next short form is in page number 6.6, and that is the definition of information system audit. The definition is called as assessment of VERSC, assessment of VERS. That is assessment of internal controls to assure their validity, reliability and security, that is VRS, and the other one EE is assessment of the effectiveness and efficiency. So that is assessment of VRS and EE. So that is assessment of VERS. That is the definition of an IS audit. The next short form is in page number 6.7, and that is with regards to the functions of the IS auditor. So the functions can be remembered by using the short form I3F, and this stands for the inadequate controls, inefficient use of resource, ineffective IT strategy, and the last one is IT related frauds. So that is I3, inadequate, inefficient, ineffective, that is I3, and F is IT related frauds. The next short form is again in the same page itself, and that is the various categories of information system audits. So we've got about 5 different categories of information system audits, and that you can remember by using the short form SAMIT TIE IPSD. I couldn't find any better way to minimize the length of this word. If you have any better short form for this, you can use that, or you can use this one itself, that is SAMIT Summit TIE IPSD. SA stands for Systems and Application Audits. MIT is Management of IT and Enterprise Architecture, and TIE is Telecommunication, Intranet and Extranets. Then IP is Information Processing, SD is Systems Development. So that is SAMIT TIE IPSD. The next short form is in page number 6.16, and that is with regards to the inherent limitations of an audit. You would have looked at this even in as part of the audit syllabus also, and it is the same thing even here. That is FATO, the inherent weaknesses related to financial reporting, then the nature of the audit procedures that are used, then timeliness of reporting and other reporting limitations. So these are the 4 broad categories of limitations as far as any audit is concerned. The next short form is in page number 6.19, and this talks about what are the various categories or types of errors that can be identified by using the SCARF technique. And the short form is Assessee P4. AS stands for application system errors, then E is system exception, then S is statistical sample, SC is snapshots and extended records, then the 4P, that is profiling of data, performance measurement, and policy and procedural variance. So that is AS, SE, SE, P4, that is assessee, P power 4. The next short form is in the next page itself, in page 6.20, and that is the advantages of a continuous audit. And the short form for that would be DCT SOS TNU. DCT SOS TNU. And here DCT stands for detailed, comprehensive and timely audits. Then SO is the information to system staff on the objectives, that is system and objectives SO. ST is surprise test capability, and TNU is training for the new users. DCT SOS TNU. The next short form is in page 6.22, and this is with regards to the objectives of an audit trail. The objectives of an audit trail is DFP, that is detecting unauthorized access, facilitating the reconstruction, promoting personal accountability. Detection, facilitation and promotion, DFP. And now we move on to the last two short forms of this chapter, and they deal with the issues in the operational layer and the tactical layer of the application security. So if you look at here, operational layer, tactical layer and strategic layer, and the short forms are in these two layers. Strategic layer is at the very top, and it does not have any points that they have given here in detail. So in operational layer we have 3 points, and the short form for that is UPS. U stands for user accounts and access rights, P stands for password controls, and S stands for segregation of duties. So UPS is the short form for issues in operational layer. And for issues in tactical layer, we have the short form AML ISRM. AML is RM. AML is for audit monitoring and audit logging, or audit logging and monitoring. Then IS stands for interface security, and RM stands for IT risk management. So these are the three issues in the tactical layer. With that, we are done with the short forms, and now we'll go back to the beginning of the chapter and we'll look at what are the places where we'll have to renumber the points in a logical order. The first point in with regards to the logical renumbering is in page 6.4, and it deals with the changes with regards to evidence collection with the advent of computers. So the logic which you can use here for the points here is non-availability of input documents, and from that we have the issues with regards to data retention and storage. The data retention might not be long enough. And the third one is non-availability of audit trail. If documents and the trail is not stored, we won't have an audit trail to look at. Then lack of a printed output. Everything is in the system itself. And the next one is regards to audit evidence. That is, we won't be having proper audit evidence if we don't have the above 4 points. And the last one is legal issues. So where does the actual data lie? In which country of the world does the data lie, and which country's law applies to the data stored there? So that is legal issues. So these are this is the logic for the points with regards to changes in evidence collection. The next point is in the very next page, in page 6.5, and this is changes with regards to evidence evaluation. So first we have system generated transactions, and we have automated processing of those transactions, and then we have system error. System error means that the logic is itself erroneous. If an incorrect logic is being fed into the system, then an incorrect output would be generated every single time that particular logic is used. So if, for example, the depreciation logic is wrong in the system, for every single time that the depreciation run is performed, it would be throwing out an incorrect output. So that is system error. The next point is in page number 6.7, and it deals with the various skill sets of an IS auditor. So the skill sets, there are 3 buckets. First one is the qualification, next is knowledge, third is understanding. So with regards to qualification, we have only one point, that is the auditor must possess professional and technical qualifications that are necessary. And with regards to knowledge, we have 2 points, that is sound knowledge of business operations and knowledge of IT strategies and policy. And with regards to understanding, we have 3 points, that is understanding of risks and controls, understanding of technical and manual controls, and we have one more point with regard to knowledge, and that is knowledge of professional standards. So it's basically 1 qualification, 2 understanding, and 3 knowledge. 1, 2, 3. That is the way in which you can remember the skill sets of the IS auditor. In the next page, that is page 6.8, we have the diagram in which they have given the various steps of performing an information system audit. The first step would anyway be scoping. Next we have, once the scope has been set for that assignment, planning would be performed to see how to tackle that scope or how to satisfy the requirements of that scope. And then based on what the plan has been made, a field work would be carried out to gather the necessary evidences. And then analysis of the evidences gathered in the fieldwork would be performed, and based on that analysis, reporting would be done to the management or whoever has requested the performing of that IS audit, and it would be closed for that year. So these are the 6 stages of performing the IS audit. This is very similar to a regular audit as well. The next point is there in page 6.12, that is what are the factors that are to be considered by the IS auditor in the planning stage. So the order for that would be the size and complexity of the entity should be considered, then obtaining business knowledge and business understanding of that particular client, then discuss the preliminary plan with the client so that any additional inputs can be taken from the client side, then develop the audit plan and adapt the plan to any changes, adapt and make any changes to the plan if there are any unexpected findings in the audit. So after the fieldwork or during the fieldwork, if anything which is not planned has been noticed, the plan has to be amended accordingly. So these are the 5 stages of factors to be considered in planning. Then in the next page, in page 6.13, we have got the point regarding understanding of the technology that is present at the client. So the order for this would be 1, 2, 4, 3, 5. First point would be to analyze the level of automation in the client. The next point, to analyze the extent of dependence on the IT by that particular enterprise. Point number 3 would be to study the network diagrams. Point 4 would be to understand the technology architecture that is present. And point 5 would be to understand extended enterprise architecture. And the last point would be to study policy, standards and guidelines issued by that client or the management of that client. So these are the 6 points with regards to the technology understanding. The order, again I repeat, it is 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, 6. And now we have come to the last point of this chapter, and that is the risk-based audit. What are the steps to be adopted in a risk-based approach for the audit? First is to identify what are all the kinds of systems that are used in the organization. The next one would be to determine which of them are the critical systems. Third would be to assess the risks to those critical systems. Fourth would be to decide the priority or decide the audit approach on the basis of the risks to these critical systems. So with that, we have come to an end of chapter number 6, and I hope you had a good revision of this chapter, and I hope you also watch the revision videos of the other chapters as well. Thanks for watching.